Well, it's quickly grown into a problem all across Tennessee. Catalytic converter thefts. Thieves are getting faster and smarter with the ways they're managing to get away with this crime. But now the state of Tennessee is cracking down on this trend. Kevin Walters with the Department of Commerce and Insurance is on the phone now to talk about what's being done. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I greatly appreciate it.
I feel like this is a crime that we have seen come in waves in recent past, and we're seeing another uptick in it right now. We just reported on a story on this happening overnight.
Right. I mean, honestly, the numbers are staggering whenever you consider them and consider what they were like, say, in 2019 compared to last year. The National Insurance Crime Bureau says that the thefts of converters grew to over 1,200 a month in 2020 compared to around 280 a month back in 2019. So it was a growing problem that needed to be addressed.
Do you think that criminals who do this, not to make excuses for them, but do you think the reason this is so popular is they could see it as a victimless crime? There's not really a face to a catalytic converter, but it still costs people a lot of money.
Yeah, and it's an inconvenience as well. I think that there's some truth in that, and some of the things we've seen from law enforcement is how quick the converters could be stolen. What we want to stress is that ultimately the new laws in Tennessee that take effect starting July 1 are going to put a clamp down on catalytic converters, and hopefully will curb catalytic converter thieves' style.
So what can property owners do to protect themselves from this?
Well, so the new law says that any person who sells scrap metal and that they have to notify their local chief of police and the sheriff of each city and county where that activity occurs. And that includes, and when I say that the sale of scrap metal, that includes unattached catalytic converters as a single item and not as part of a scrapped motor vehicle. So if I show up at a scrap metal dealer, the scrap metal dealer has to have told the local law enforcement that he's supposedly going to be buying these unattached catalytic converters. And then any person who's purchasing a catalytic converter, they have to be registered as a scrap metal dealer. So that means that we have to have again, that's a background check, that's a photo ID. There has to be this awareness that is on they make us aware, we know who they are. And then the scrap metal dealer, starting July 1, shall not purchase or otherwise acquire a detached converter unless it's part of they have a fixed site and they have to maintain a fixed site. So it's an actual brick and mortar place, and it has to be an in-person transaction. So we think that these steps, that this law is going to put some protections in place that's going to curb the number of thefts that were occurring, and it's going to protect consumers at the end of the day.
Right. So we can't stop criminals from doing these things, but we can stop them from benefiting from it if people aren't able to buy them.
Correct. I mean, ultimately, that's the goal of this: is to cut that off and to cut that off from occurring and making it impossible to sell. So if you make it impossible to sell, then it reduces why you would want to do this and commit this crime.
Kevin, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.